I'm Lisa. In this episode, how will USAID's fall benefit China and the world? Chinese police defeated US cops in Dubai. A gala showcased the future of China's manufacturing. First, let's dive into Trump's big move. According to a report on the 6th of February, Trump plans to cut the number of employees at the U.S. International Development Agency, USAID, from over 10,000 to fewer than 300. Western media view this as a retaliatory move against the Democratic Party, arguing that it will lead to many developing countries losing vital food and medical aid. However, Chinese strategist Professor Wang suggested that this development may not be detrimental to developing countries, particularly China. Instead, he sees it as a sign of the US moving away from its long-standing global dominance, which could actually benefit the global south. To understand this trend, we can focus on two main points. First, the reduction of USAID indicates that the US machinery of creating chaos around the world has fallen into brain death. US global dominance relies on two pillars: military power and cultural warfare. The military aspect is clear, but the cultural warfare is where USAID plays a significant role. While the USAID is often seen as an international aid organization, it actually functions as a tool for the US to protect its interests and maintain its dominance without using military force. After the US military established a presence in the region, it needs a low-cost method to maintain control. This involves weakening local resistance and anti-war sentiment. USAID act as a remote control, often through funding and influencing foreign media. For example, in 2023, Reporters Without Borders (RSF) reported that USAID funded over 6,200 journalists and 707 media outlets across 30 countries, as well as 279 media-focused NGOs. In Ukraine, USAID was the primary sponsor of many independent media outlets, with 90% of them relying on foreign subsidies to operate. The strategy was clearly seen during the 2014 coup in Ukraine, where the manipulation of public opinion by various independent media funded by outside forces helped lead to the removal of the democratically elected President Yanukovych. If USAID had been shut down a decade earlier, this conflict in Ukraine might not have occurred. It's even possible that the global COVID-19 pandemic could have been avoided. On the 3rd of February, Musk revealed that USAID had funded research into biological weapons, including gain-of-function studies on the virus, which contributed to the deaths of 7 million people worldwide. If USAID's record hadn't been exposed, the rumors surrounding the Wuhan virus would have smeared China much more. Furthermore, more man-made viruses could have continued to threaten the world. Now, on to the second point. Ending USAID will make all sovereign states great again. Trump simultaneously announced a 90-day suspension of all foreign aid. The New York Times reported that this decision could make an already fragile ceasefire more fragile, noting that during the Gaza war, USAID provided over $1 billion in assistance to Gaza and the West Bank, helping tens of thousands of Palestinian refugees with food supplies. However, a closer look reveals the hypocrisy in the New York Times stance. According to Brown University, in 2024, the US provided $17.9 billion in military aid to Israel, over 10 times the amount given for Palestinian refugee aid. Trump even suggested that US could claim ownership of Gaza. Even more alarming is that the food aid itself has been linked to plans for biological warfare. In November 2021, USAID announced it would donate 3,000 tons of wheat seeds to Syria, claiming that the goal was to ensure bread for everyone. However, when Syrian agriculture officials examined the seeds, they found that 40% were infected with a parasite called nematode. They warned farmers to destroy the seed or risk damaging their land's agricultural value for years. In December 2024, Bashar al-Assad, the former president of Syria, was forced to resign. Assad's government had long subsidized a type of flatbread, which cost only 400 Syrian pounds for 12 pieces. That's about 3 cents in USD. For Syrians living on just $2 a day, this flatbread was crucial for living. It was literally the bread for everyone. However, according to MEM, after Assad's resignation, bread prices in Damascus skyrocketed by 900%. On the 6th of January 2025, the US announced plans to ease sanctions against Syria and allow human aid to enter the country. It's important to note that the previous Syrian government still managed to feed the population, even though much of the agriculture production was controlled by the Kurds, and also this was against the backdrop of the US using sanctions to damage Syrian agriculture. However, after the US relaxed sanctions and allowed aid, many Syrians began to starve. Similar situations in Afghanistan and Venezuela show that it's not foreign aid that guarantees food security, but rather a stable government that effectively serves its people. This highlights how USAID has contributed to starvation in developing countries. If USAID hadn't been so involved in promoting revolutions and biological warfare, the people in these nations could have survived with dignity. Ironically, the US so-called charitable aid has often turned them into beggars of the free world. So while Trump's decision to shut down USAID may have been driven by political motives and a desire to scale back, it also weakens the backbone of US global dominance. When the propaganda machine stops, people in developing countries may finally see that their true saviors are themselves. And this realization will help those in the global south to regain confidence and collectively work towards a multipolar world order. For the US, the saving of these cuts won't be enough to stop its decline, but they do show that the Trump administration understands the challenges of maintaining global hegemony. Strategically, moving away from this dominance might indeed be a smarter and more practical choice for the US today. Next up, let's see how Chinese police set a new world record. The UAE SWAT Challenge 2025 began on the 1st of February in Dubai. This intensive 5-day event brings together top law enforcement and military teams from around the world to showcase their skills in challenging tactical situations. This year, the competition set a new Guinness World Record, with a record-breaking of 105 teams with 46 countries participating. China sent 3 teams into this year's challenge. The team from Zhejiang province won the championship, while the Anhui province team took home the bronze medal. The Chinese team competed in 5 demanding events, including rapid assault tactics, firepower strikes, officer rescue mission, tower operation, and extreme obstacle courses. After making their debut in last year's competition, the Zhejiang SWAT team set a world record in this year's tower assault event, completing it in an impressive 2 minutes and 33 seconds. The event stimulates real-world hostage rescue and counter-terrorism operations, challenging teams to swiftly breach and clear a multi-story building. The Zhejiang team consists of 9 members, with the oldest being 33 and the youngest 25. One member, Liu Peng, born in 1998, has been a police officer for 8 years. Since learning about the UAE SWAT Challenge last January, he dedicated 90% of his time to training. In China, the police are referred to as the People's Police. This is significant. According to Chinese official media, in 2023, reports of theft and robbery nationwide decreased by over 31% compared to 2019. During the same period, human trafficking cases dropped by 66%. Additionally, a total of 42,000 drug-related crimes were solved in 2023, marking a 74.5% decrease from previous highs. Also, despite an increase of 160 million motor vehicles and 112 million licensed drivers over the past 5 years, road traffic accidents in China have actually declined. Most importantly, Chinese are not afraid of the police because they truly serve the people. Next up, on the 28th of January, the 2025 Chinese Spring Festival Gala showcased a groundbreaking blend of tradition and technology. 16 unitary H1 humanoid robots dressed in traditional Chinese floral pattern jackets danced alongside professional performers. They executed a folk dance with impressive precision, even tossing and catching handkerchiefs in mid-air, which entertained viewers. This interesting performance was the result of 3 months of AI-powered training, precise coordination of 43 high-torque joints, and a 360-degree sensing system. Using deep learning, the robots analyze and mimic human dance moves, generating real-time commands that made their movements both powerful and precise. If these robots can toss a handkerchief, they can certainly handle other tasks, like turning a screw. Notably, while Tesla's Optimus robot cost up to $30,000 each, the Unitree H1 is priced at around $14,000, making it a more affordable option for small businesses and developing countries.
偷偷告诉大家，我最近发现了新法宝 Royal Face 逆时奇迹系列，它有活肤露、全效精华，还有精华霜。尤其我皮肤比较偏干，所以我非常的注重保湿。保湿做得好，肌肤自然烹饪。提亮肤色更年轻，抚平皱纹超有感，而且气色变好。用心保养，每天都更美一点。美吧。